So, if you ask me, the trend of affixing the word Pro to the end of earbud names continues unabated, from the Samsung Buds Pro to the upcoming Airpods Pro 2 and the Soundcore Air 2 Pro, just to name a few. And now this, the 1MORE or 1MORE ComfoBuds Pro. And no, it's not really called 1MORE, but you know, one more in Spanish is, yeah, you get it. But anyways, the Pro means in this case you get active noise cancellation and pretty much a kitchen sink's worth of their best features thrown in. Now, if you look at the price and the stats of the 1MORE, it seems like the company is setting its sights squarely on the Soundcore Air 2 Pros. They're so similar, it's not even funny. So this is the angle I'll be using with this video. And so I'm going to compare the 1MORE and the Soundcore and see which of these lucky stiffs is going to be the winner. If you're interested, let's find out after these messages. That way. Alright, it is that time to check out the specs, and the ComfoBuds cost $95. In comparison, the Soundcore Air 2 Pros right here retail for $129, but these currently and frequently hit $99 on sale, so these two are pretty comparable. In this one, the 1MORE includes multi-strength active noise cancellation with pass-through mode. There are proximity sensors on board for wear detection as well. There is a mono mode, even though it's omitted in the marketing material. There are 6 mics on board altogether that handle phone calls and noise cancellation. We'll take a closer look at where they are later on. Bluetooth 5.0 is on board, but oddly, there is no mention of any kind of supported audio codecs. But if you look at the Bluetooth settings, like on your phone or whatever device you're connected to, there seems to be AAC and at the very least SBC. Battery life is 6 hours and is rated at IPX4 sweat and water resistance, which is identical to the Soundcores. And if you'd like to see more of the Soundcores and how it holds up, you can visit the video up here. In the real world, I got about 5.5 hours of listening time with the 1MORE with ANC on at 65% volume. Both of these brands also weigh the same at 5 grams per earbud. By the way, remember to sub and like down below if you're digging this video so far, because I'm trying to get to 10,000 subs and we're this close, guys. First up, we have the case, and as you can see, it has an elongated teardrop shape. I really like that it's palmable like this. The plastics that they use is really high quality, matte white right here, and really well put together. When you squeeze it, there's not even a creak. The problem I do have with the shape, even though it's very palmable, is that when you combine the shape and this shallow scalloping for your fingers here, it makes the lid harder to open than necessary, especially if your hands are slippery. It takes me like 3 or 4 tries to just get it right. By the way, there's no wireless charging down here. And here are a couple of cool quirks that I noticed. Besides the exterior LED right there, while in the case, the earbuds also light up. I'm not sure if you can see that. Let me pop the other one back into. You can see them light up in what seems like translucent tips at the base of the stem, which is pretty darn interesting. This is the first time I've seen anything like this. It's pretty cool, and at times it kind of reminds me of Christmas tree lights. Another cool quirk here is in the USB-C charging slot. This splash of red, look at this one. It's a nice touch, and it's what I call 1MORE red, because it's the same color on their logo as well as a couple of other places on their earbuds, right here on their mesh grill and a little bit on the inside on their ear tips. Really nice stuff. Now let's do the magnet test. By the way, the lid doesn't stay open when you flip it open like that, but let's do the magnet test. And these guys stay in place. They're really strong, so they pass that. So if you drop this on the floor, they're not gonna go flying everywhere. Now, over to the earbuds, and I'll tell you up front, these things are finished very nicely, same quality plastics as the case, but this has one of the tightest fit lines I've seen at any price. Here's one of the seams, I'm not sure you can see that, and another one right here, but really that's the point. There's barely any kind of panel gapping. Really impressive stuff on 1MORE side. Now, the touch controls are halfway down or partway down the stem right here, and they accept double, triple taps as well as hold, and are customizable up to a point, and I'll show you that in the app. There are 3 mics all together, one down here, and one right behind this grill, and another one right next to the proximity sensor window. The charging points or contacts are here. One small 1MORE logo right there. And in the business end of things, by the way, there's a large 13.4mm driver that pumps sound out through this really short sound channel and out through these oval ear tips. And there are 3 additional ones included in the box in case you can't find the size that you like. I really like the translucent ear tips, and they're kind of easy to pop on and off. Not one of the easiest compared to round ones, but at least least it has a stiff center core, and of course it's not going to do it on the camera, but they're pretty fast, trust me. And I really like these splashes of One More red all around it to break up the monotonous white. Really nice design. I really like this. So here we are at the home screen of the One More Music app, and this thing is really easy to use. Sure, it looks bare bones, but don't be deceived. It's well laid out, and in fact, on the home screen here, you don't even need to scroll down to find what you need. That says a lot. So at the top here, you find the battery levels for each of your battery cases and the earbuds. Right below that is the modes that you can switch for active noise cancellation. There's 3 different strengths. There's strong, mid, as well as WNR. WNR is wind noise reduction, and then there's pass-through mode, and of course off. And right below that is smart playback. You tap that, you can turn on and off your auto pause play. And also right below that, custom settings is where you play around with or customize your button taps. And here it's kind of weird. You can only do it in pairs for left and right. So for example, I can do for mild, and it does left and right at the same time. You can't do this individually, which is really interesting. Now, outside of that too, over-the-air firmware updates, I've gotten one so far, which is pretty good considering that this is a smaller maker. So I guess they're on top of things. Now, at the top right here on the One More logo, you tap that to get into more deeper settings. But really, there's not much to it. Other than that, the stuff that I've shown you, there's smart burn-in. This is like the first time I've seen a burn-in mode for one of the modern earbud, which is pretty interesting. And then down here is an experimental feature. You can play around with that, and maybe they'll add more features later on. All right, I have the earbuds in, and I have some tunes playing. Bulletproof by one of my favorite bands, Pamplemousse. You should check them out. I'll link them below. But I have them playing on Deezer right here in high fidelity on my Pixel, and I'm gonna put it at the end of my deck. I'm gonna walk this way, and we'll see when these guys start having connection issues. So the One Mores have Bluetooth 5.0, so should last us around 30 to 33 feet before we start hearing disconnection issues or connection issues. Right there is the phone, and where I'm standing is around 25 feet. Let's walk this way. How you guys doing? And right here, as expected, around 32 feet, I'm getting sputtering. I'm just gonna keep walking again and see when we get a full disconnect. It's kind of chilly today and windy, even though it's spring. I still haven't gotten a tone, but there's no music playing at this point. Oh, there you go. I think we're at 42 feet, so that's not bad actually. So nice job. By the way, you can see the fit on these on my ear. They're nice and compact, and yeah, really comfortable. And one thing when I'm listening to music too, the separation is pretty good. That doesn't mean staging is nice, where you can tell where everything is, the instruments are. But this song has really awesome guitar licks and bass guitars going. I can hear the left and the right. It's pretty impressive. So yeah, anyways, let's move on to the next test. All right, I'm taking us closer to the road right now to get some better traffic samples, and I'm gonna switch between the camera and these earbuds, and boy is it windy, so I hope the camera picks it up okay. But I tested these earlier in terms of noise suppression. Not happy with them. Quiet is fine, but as cars pass by right now, I hope you can hear this in the sample, but I think the algorithm just wants to kill my voice too. Every few words or sentences or so, one of my words or letters gets garbled up. I'm gonna keep talking, not sure if you can hear it. But yeah, I think they definitely paled compared to the Soundcores. A lot of improvement, and good thing is firmware updates can be done with this to solve this. So one more, if you're listening to this, yeah, fix this. Wind noise, it gets into the vents. So if you're talking with pass-through mode on, that's something to bear in mind. And when you do get phone calls, if you're on active noise cancellation mode on, it will stay on. So not my preferred choice. I like it to go to pass-through. So if you're having calls, at least you're aware of your surroundings more so. Now, here are my favorite things about the One More. The sound has plenty of oomph, if maybe a little bit less than the Soundcores, but all throughout the frequency range, the 13.4mm drivers handle most categories surprisingly well. The bass is solid, and really, I have very little to criticize here, especially if you get a good seal in your ears. Now, that being said, classical music and instrumental clarity sound a bit muffled, so that's probably something you should be aware of. Noise cancellation performs well too. Sure, it has its limits. Plane rides are a no-go for me, but if you're taking this on a train or a bus, or just want to take the edge off constant background sounds, then the ComfoBuds ought to be your jam. As some of you may know by now, I'm not a fan of touch controls, but the ComfoBuds kinda do touch the right way here. Having the touch surface halfway down the stem greatly reduces that sensation of jamming the earbuds deeper into your canal every time I try to execute a command. And it also helps that it registers my touch 9 out of 10 times, which is like awesome for this sort of tech. Alright, now for the negatives, and the first offender is this bloody case. Sure, it is easy to hold and pocket and all, but when you combine its teardrop shape and the slippery plastics, it really makes it hard to open the lid, as we saw earlier. The other thing too, because of this shape, it forces the earbuds to be oriented and placed within the case in such a way that it makes it really difficult to remove, as we demoed earlier. Something the Soundcore has and the 1MORE could have had is a customizable equalizer. I'm not sure why it was omitted in the first place. Maybe 1MORE wanted to retain the tuning of Luca Bignardi, the Oscar-winning guy that they hired to tune these earbuds, or maybe their hands were more tied than that because Luca threw his tantrums if you mess with his stuff at any given time. So 1MORE was like, let's just not do the EQ, you'll piss him off. But either way, I would have preferred something customizable. I know some of you may say, hey Aaron, I can use the music app and customize the EQ from there, but I prefer something universal at the end of the day. I'll tell you what guys, the ComfoBuds Pro is properly legit. You 1MORE fans are probably excited to hear that, but this device should definitely be on your shopping list along with the Soundcore Air 2 Pro. This thing is a heavy hitter with tight, if maybe ever so slightly muffled sound compared to the Soundcore's, effective active noise cancellation as long as you keep your expectations in check, good battery life, attractive design, well except for the case maybe, and solid controls. The Soundcore on the other hand trumps it in the app experience, the handling, the sound, and customization, but loses out to it in terms of controls, and if the Soundcore doesn't go on sale, price. So with all that said, I want to give this device a gear up score of 7.5 out of 10. And this is how I broke it down to get to the final score. Feel free to pause this, and if you have any questions about it, feel free to comment down below. Well, there you have it guys. Thank you so much for watching this episode, and please join me next Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern time for a new one. It's gonna be awesome. Or at least that's the plan anyway. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to this channel. Mash and kill the button down below. Tell friends and family about it. Get me to 10,000 subs. Follow me on Insta. And if you're financially able to, visit my Patreon page down here and the brand new YouTube applaud button down here right next to the video description. Doing so will get your name shouted out right here and really help this channel move forward and really get you more videos to watch. And also remember to thumbs up if you like this video and comment nicely down below. Super important stuff. And thumbs down. Thumbs down to the chipmunk that supposedly stole one of our hidden Easter eggs. We hid like 85 Easter eggs over the past weekend in our property, and one of them was not accounted for. And so when we went back to the same hiding spot, lo and behold, the egg was missing, but there was a chipmunk. So my eyes are on you, Mr. Chipmunk. So thumbs down to you for stealing it. It's a pretty large one, so it's actually pretty impressive that I was able to move it. But anyways, thumbs down to you for doing that, and I hope you're, I don't know, get sweet tooth or diabetes, chipmunk diabetes. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great weekend as well. Take care of yourself. Remember to do something kind and loving for somebody in this world because it all starts with you. Take care guys. I love you. God bless. And I'll see you the next time.